Oh God, it's it's a Prinosuchus.
It could be a reptile, like a fucking what's it called? Like another gator or like an amphibian or some sort. I'm leaning towards amphibian for this one.
I'm leaning towards Prinosuchus.
That'd be interesting. Let me see here. So I'm just gonna take a look at some of this shit.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah, no, I've decided I'm gonna just read the Sonic what's it called? Superstars promotional comic to basically, since again it's just getting things sorted for like the game itself. I don't think it'll technically be a spoiler per se. So just kind of taking a look at all this. Fucking obese animals, very strange. Let's see what else. Interesting. And apparently they've decided to quote-unquote canonize / explain Knack's various name changes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, basically it's like when you're constantly being wanted, it's a good idea to change your name. My immediate reaction: why don't you change your appearance? If people can still see who you are, you're not going to trick them by being, oh, I'm totally a different guy. My license plate says. You dumbass. Alright, I also gotta get that Robo-Blocks Blade. I'm gonna get the kills.
Yeah, apparently I can't find my original save file, so I have to get all the characters, all their animals again. So, that's strange.
I do not envy that task whatsoever. You know, yeah, I had something similar happen to me not too long ago with what's it called? Oh, I'm trying to think of the right word here. Oh, whoops, I clicked the wrong thing. When I played what's it called? Or when I downloaded the oh Christ, what's it called? The Sonic World latest update, because apparently I have like two versions of the same thing on my computer. The system thinks I'm cheating and so isn't like transferring anything over, so I can play the levels but I don't get any of the goodies, which means a lot of the characters get locked out. I'm like, let me know. Yeah, it could always be worse. It could just be like.
I was just saying, I'm trying to relearn the controls because it's been a while since.
Okay, I get you. It's like, fuck that, I'm good. What's this? And they're just committing to the Halloween bit, because why not? It's the season to be scared about. Let's see here. I'm just mostly skimming. I'm not gonna read this on live until we start.
Still consider this game canon. I don't care what people say. No, the music's
Let's see here. I guess that was short and sweet, but to the point. Anyhow. Let's see. I still got some things to do, like odds and ends to tie off here. Just some side projects mostly. Like I said, last night I actually worked on before I had to do that whole like system transfer thing. I did work on some concept and stuff for the whole like glitch story, basically. Image turned out really well, basically having Sonic, Tangle, and Whisper in one spot. I decided to kind of work on the whole corrupted Badwood design too, where basically I just changed the textures of their eyes to reflect the what's it called? To reflect the corruption, basically just change the textures from the standard texture to the proper weird texture, basically. So it turned out quite well, and a lot of the characterization to it actually gives them that whole kind of like disturbing, unusual, almost like feral kind of look to them. Oh, this is interesting. What? Sorry, no, I'm just looking at that promotional form go over. Some interesting information here, or at least some history with Trip now, at least from the comics. I don't really think this counts as a spoiler for the game, I should say.
What, the Shoe Dragon?
No. According to Eggman specifically about this location, the island that apparently the game takes place on, or starting in, is called North Star Island.
Yeah.
Its shape is in a crescent moon shape. It's completely uncharted, but from what I can see, there's some structures, buildings, things like that. Like, early on, probably something the Sun Gazers made. Let me see here. And it seems that Trip's the only defender of this island. This seems to be home to some incredibly large critters, too, like gigantic flickies, pigs, and various other creatures. Makes me wonder if I had to guess, probably the abundance of food and other things. Some species do grow to fill space, so it's not too surprising if certain creatures on this island actually grew to that proportion. Though whether these are common creatures, like certain flickies getting this big, or actually just special individuals who inhabit something like, the fat chocobo and everything like that, it's hard to tell, at least from this comic. You'll have to play the game and see what it is. Let's see here. Let me see here. Sorry, still pulling it up. Yes, and like I said, Stick seems to be the only. Oh, sorry. Almost said Trick seems to be the only real defender on the island. Looks like she's never really fought anyone either. Tries to fight Fang, but trips and winds up losing the spear to him. Apparently, she's not working with them because she agrees with their goals. Looks like she's only working with them because she wants to keep the island safe.
Now, what are
harvest the energy of the island, probably, or the local fauna.
Yeah, I mean, they use the big guys for Lotus or something.
I'm guessing it's the same kind of principle Eggman has. We know that inside every badnik is an animal gem. Basically, the critter runs around and is used as like an organic bat. My guess is that the bigger the creature, the more power can be extracted from it. Hence why they probably want to use, probably why they want to use, use them in such a way, or at the very least kind of use these creatures as the end-all, be-all beasts, essentially. Let me see here. So that would explain part of it. But there's nothing particularly special about this island, though. Outside of the Sun Gazer ruins, nothing really stands out. It's no different than the islands Eggman's tried to conquer before, and it's no different than anything they've tried to do in the past. And if I had to guess, probably a lot of real estate and overabundance of wildlife. That's the only reason. That's the only explanation I can imagine why he would try to settle and start conquering this place.
Yeah.
Though the same, though there's also the other point as well, where we have to consider this. Sorry, we have to consider this too. The what's the word? The simple fact of the matter being that. Sorry, I'm blanking here. Hold on. I had it and it's gone. Oh, listen. The fact of the matter is of like what Eggman's goal here is. Again, given that we know that the emeralds cannot be used individually in terms of power, it's possible this island might have some sort of information to help explain that a bit further. Which again wouldn't be too out of the norm to think about. But also, again, paints an interesting picture. At least in terms of the history and the lore of these islands and everything like it. We need to see how far the, what's it called? We need to see how far the island and the ruins, like everything on this island goes back. If there's any mention of the echidnas, then we'll have a general idea as to what's going on here. Like I said, I don't think the echidnas made this island their home. From what little I've seen, there's no evidence to suggest that the echidnas have actually been here before.
Yeah, probably. It wouldn't make any sense. It must have.
Not just that, I'm trying to also think about the other things about it as well. I don't think it was just them dealing with quote-unquote murder spree. I think it might also be... What's the word? Oh god.
Uh-oh.
Oh, so this is where that map came from in Gary's mom.
Okay.
Yeah, this map is back in Gary's mod somewhere. It took me a second. What the fuck?
I like his animations for like doing the...
Yeah, like putting his hand up and going like, hey.
I got 9 lives because I did the special stages, so I'm already at 250,000 score.
Let me see. Let me see. Again, like I was trying to say, my estimation is probably this. Again, if We know for a fact that the what's the word? We know for a fact that the oh, what's it called? That the Chaos Emeralds came from the Ancients, and that like spread it across specifically the what's it called? That spread it across the Starfall Islands and so on and so forth. The thing is, we don't know where the Starfall Islands are geologically speaking.
Maybe if you're in the north, but that would make sense.
My best assumption would probably be this. If we assume that the Starfall Islands are geologically close to the other islands in the series, so various islands all over the place, then it would be a safe assumption to assume that the what's it called? That the Starfall Island, or sorry, that after the Ancients died out, and after the Starfall Island massacre occurred, and we'll assume that some of them managed to escape and so on and so forth. What's it called? If we assume that the Starfall Islands, you know, they, some of the Ancients started to leave and everything like that, then, what's the word? Hold on. So I'm just checking something here. I'm checking. Let's see. Hold on. Checking. Need to check this. Nearly sent. Right, here we are. So, sorry, what was I saying? Right, with the Starfall Island. So, if we assume that the islands are close to, like, North Star Island, the Christmas Islands, Seaside, and everything like that, then we can assume this, that the Ancients probably started leaving the island, those who survived, likely, either started to leave the island and brought the emeralds with them, not wanting to leave them behind at the risk of some greater evil getting their hands on it. Or, more likely, explorers to these islands might have discovered the emeralds and taken them, likely not tripping off the security, because I think the only reason why the security got tripped originally was because of Tails' plan, and likely scanning Sonic and the others as threats. You know, advanced technology likely triggering them.
Yeah, probably assumed he was evil or some shit like that.
Right. It's also possible that because the Ancients may have interacted with like more primitive species, they may have whitelisted those primitive species as non-threatening combatants, and just let the island ignore them. So if we assume the whole Ancients died out and the Primitives came to the, what's it called? The Primitives came to the island to investigate and yada yada yada, then that's probably where the whole thing started, where the Sun Gazers may have gotten the emeralds first. If they came to the North Star Islands, maybe they had a good enough relationship with the Sun Gazers to actually trust them to, to leave the emeralds with them, because I mean, listen, something might happen, we entrust it to you, you guys know the secrets, yada yada yada. Ancients die out, Sun Gazers keep the 7 emeralds, start working on them. Then, during this entire procedure, or this entire process, let's say, something might have happened. I think the Sun Gazers built a civilization around the emerald, unlock their secrets, and utilize those secrets to further expand their influence and their knowledge, likely trying to set up some sort of society that could like embrace changes and yada yada yada, right? Then something happens, and this is where it can get. I'm just going off of speculation. Some sort of cataclysmic event may have hit them that caused their civilization to collapse, or the other possibility is that maybe the echidnas discovered discovered the sun gazers and the emeralds, and feeling threatened by their power, decided to try and like fight against them to take them. Because at this point, I'm assuming they had the Master Emerald under control. A conflict occurs. The conflict doesn't actually go in the echidna's favor for a while until they discover that the Master Emerald can actually control the other 7. Then they use that to disable the emeralds, make the sun gazers submit to them. They take the emeralds and likely abandon the sun gazers to their fate. At least that's the most like direct line I can probably build from this. Again, there's also the entire possibility that this could be, like I said, it could be completely and utterly offbeat, and I might be missing some like important detail.
I feel like I mean, what about those snakes that they showed? Purple snake. Would that happen?
Purple snake.
The short where Spagman's looking at the mural.
Oh, you mean that red snake? Yeah. Wait, are you colorblind?
No. I mean, I'd hate my life if I was, because I'd see everything that's pink. It'd be sad. The skies would be pink instead of blue.
Well, colorblindness doesn't necessarily affect that. It just means that you don't perceive certain colors. Like, it's not like you don't see blues or reds or anything. It's like, some people just can't perceive certain like, shades and things like that.
Well, I'm talking, in the short, there's this, like, mural on the wall that Eggman looks at and gets an idea of Fang fights the red snake.
Oh, okay, so you're talking about the being in the mural and then there's the actual snake in the... Okay, I see.
I think that snake will appear.
I don't know. Maybe. But again, given the context now that Trip isn't on their side because she agrees with them, but because likely Fang and Eggman are threatening to say, like, listen, if you don't work with us, we're just going to completely destroy this place. My guess is that she's trying desperately to find a way to, like, get them off the island and, like, show them the secrets if it means the others will be protected. From what I can gather, in terms of like the mural and the creatures and everything, it's entirely possible that this could be the creature that affected the island or could have destroyed their civilization, but we're not entirely sure. It's possible, but still up there in the air. Same with everything else, right? Let's be honest here. The Sun Gazers introduce what's it called? A new quote-unquote paradigm, per se, introducing new lore to the series and really challenging what happened on the island, or like in terms of like what we know, what we expect, especially with like the echidnas and everything like.
Yeah.
Again, that's just me like just tossing the general idea. Or at least the general concept, really. Let me see. At least in overall. But again, if my theory about the Sun Gazers, like the echidnas attacking the Sun Gazers and actively trying to destroy them, or like did something to damage the civilization, then that implies something far darker, which I think we've all kind of speculated that, is that the echidnas were not some noble tribe of like monastic warriors or anything like that. They were absolutely like conquerors and like those who are willing to fight. Again, it's entirely possible that this was their entire MO, and it's only till recently we're starting to see that, at least indirectly. So. Possible. Hold on.
Damn it, I missed
that. Kind of. I don't think that would be quite roots, but closer to Incan / Mayan / just general as Central American native cultures at the time, which were very much like this. We know for a fact that the leader of the Echidnas at the time of adventure was clearly set on starting a war and trying to take over like different continents and regions. My speculation is that this individual, like, there may have been other cultures and tribes that may have been around at this time, similar to their own, basically.
Yeah.
Hold on. Sorry. The cultures and civilizations pretty much similar to their own. And if so, then this implies, like I said, that there was some sort of like major conflict between both like species, groups, species, tribes, etc., etc. The question really boils down to is what happened, what could have led to this kind of conflict, and why the Echidnas were so gung-ho to like start this conflict when they, when they really shouldn't have. Maybe. I'm not going to deny that. It's entirely possible. For me, my speculation is this. The Echidnas likely wanted to, were likely spreading out and were probably in some sort of golden. We know that they built the Mystic Ruin. We know that they were in command of the floating island. We know that they had a master technology, and based on like the many Echidnas, hold on. Someone's asking me a question. Nice. Where was I? Right, and we know that they built the floating islands. We know, or the floating island. We know that they were able to like fully establish themselves more so than usual in, different territories and so on and so forth. So the question really becomes, what happened and what led to this? Like, why spread out? I don't think they were being threatened by other, echidnas or other, like, groups like that. My honest belief is that what likely happened is the echidnas, my honest belief is that the echidnas likely were trying to, like, push themselves out, expanding, because at this point they were already like at a high point of prosperity, so they were likely trying to just expand out and spread their influence even further. In golden ages, it's not uncommon to see cultures trying to expand out into new territories and new things. But that's by that same metric though, just because there's like just because you're going through a golden age doesn't mean that the people you conquer go through the same thing.
Yeah, so you could find the wrong house.
Yeah. The main problem again is just in a lot of ways, I kind of point to like the Romans and how like their golden ages were like started and everything like that. But how it eventually collapsed simply because of like too many groups trying to vie for too much power all at once. You know, you had those who were in the Rome proper, then the other capital, and then this what's it called? The capital proper, everything like that, yada yada yada. And so naturally, a lot of these problems kind of just boiled up from just too many people disagreeing with too many things all at once. I wouldn't be surprised if the Echidnas had a similar sort of situation at this point, hence why they were so eager to spread out and start war. Though at the same time, I don't think that there's enough evidence to suggest that something that big was happening at the time being. The reason why I don't believe that some sort of like massive echidna prosperity was undergoing everywhere is simply because we don't see any real advancements, you know? Like, for example, their technology hasn't advanced any further than what they've already got.
Yeah, it's not like the Dark Legion, where they actually have
right.
like major, technology
advances. Yeah, exactly. Like, where the Dark Legion basically were trying to like, where they took advantage of everything they were given and started to like advance in the tech, and especially when, according to like their history, they were exiled to another reality, they had to really like build and like, you know, take that technology and then advance and adapt with it. Though they still were able to keep their technology or their culture and individuality going to some extent. But again, that's, you know, neither here nor there. With the normal echidnas in adventure, we didn't have any evidence to suggest that they were in a position where they could keep pushing things and advancing or growing stronger as time went on. And I think this is purely because at this point, they were likely still too primitive to not only advance, but also not willing to what's it called? So if they're free and everything, like, or sorry, if they were like getting more advanced and everything like that, we might have seen some more advancements. But as far as I can tell, at least with the, you know, with what's her name? Not Nicole, Tikal's father, and how he was dressed and how the others were dressed, it seems they were still too primitive to really start pushing things. And it seems that Tikal was trying to get them on a different path instead of war. Actual advancements versus fighting for the sake of fighting. It's interesting to consider. Still, but this whole sun gazer thing kind of introduces something interesting. Makes you wonder what other things they had. Personally speaking, I don't think the Echidnas had any influence in the... I don't think they had any influence in Sonic 1 or Sonic 2. At least to some extent. I don't think Marble Zone really counts as some sort of Echidna, like, location, given how, what's it called? How the architecture is different from any proper Echidna structure.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really say it's Echidna because they kind of just have an Aztec design here. Yeah,
compared to. Go ahead.
What are you gonna say?
No, you're right. It's like compared to everything else, it's the temples in this location specifically are not only collapsing, but the architecture is clearly Greek/Roman, suggesting that a different culture called this place home. I'm trying to find this. Okay. And that's generally what I mean. The hold on, where is it? I'm trying to find something else. Sorry, just one more. And that's generally what I mean. The general aspects there is that it suggests some other culture called this place home. The question really becomes, who was this culture? What did they do? What made it unique? It's tempting to say it could have been the Babylonian rogues or any other quote-unquote ancient race, but I don't think it was the case. It's entirely possible that it was just some other group that, because there was so little to go about them, just kind of went extinct as a result. In 3, we get more general ideas, like this was very clearly Echidna architecture to some degree. There is some suggestion that this group from the first 2 games was here in some regard, and kind of built the structures along with the Echidnas, but there's no evidence to suggest who this mysterious second race could have been. The question really becomes, was this group part of the Echidna Empire willingly, or were they slaves?
Slaves.
Interesting. It's something to consider, and we know what happened afterwards. Basically, we have some general idea as well how the floating islands in the air and everything like that, and we also know that it's not actually an island, just a part of a bigger continent that got broken off and sent into the sky. The question is why? Actually, go ahead.
No, I think maybe because, I don't know, the only explanation I know is that in Archie they did that because they wanted to remain, so, I don't know.
I looked this up a while ago, but according to the Archie lore and everything like that, according to the Archie lore and everything like that, the reason why they did it was because a meteorite/comet was coming into the island that they called home, and so to survive, they basically separated a part of the continent and then launched it into the sky to avoid destruction. That's it.
I don't know, I was a bit rusty on Ken Pender's lore. I know that they wanted to, that they made all of them lose all their knowledge, because I think Ken put that in to cement anti-video game ideology of his children.
More than likely. From what I understand, in terms of this, like the justification was because Enerjack was created, because Enerjack used like technology and like blah 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 blah. Therefore, that's why technology is evil, because without it, he would have never been created. Therefore, technology is bad because blah 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 blah. That's basically it. That's his justification, or that's their justification. Even though Echidnopolis later just becomes like this massive fucking like technologically advanced empire, to the point where, you know, they do this because they use technology, but it's like, again, like Ken unintentionally created like a not only an ethno-state but also a like surveillance state, because like it's only the elites that did this, and then yada yada yada. It's like some really fucking big bullshit basically. And he just, again, because Ken Penders has a warped moral compass, says it's a good thing that it happens.
Yeah.
Well, what's it? The main thing I think is that with Ken, it just his morality is basically just he believes that if people like are given unlimited freedoms and things like that, then this will lead to like pain and suffering and war and blah blah blah. That's why he's always so quick to be like, oh, we should listen to authority figures and everything else. He hates the individual and likes to create the group.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's just that sad. And pathetic. And again, people will defend him. It's like, oh, he's not really that bad. It's like, no, he is. He absolutely is. You know, Kenneth the Penis is a. There's a reason why we just kind of mock him relentlessly. It's because he's a bitch.
Yeah, there's a reason he dies in Sonic Armageddon. It's because he is a narcissist who thinks he can enslave everyone to his Sonic movie.
You know what I love about that whole like final bit when you've got Styx talking to him?
Yeah.
It's just like the fact that you got the AI to work so fucking well to the point where it's like it sounds like he actually agreed to voice himself.
Yeah, that's true.
That's so fucking funny. And the best part about this, like, if he try, like, I don't doubt for a second he's gonna try and sue you for that. Like, he's gonna be like, they use my voice and my blah 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 blah, and it's like, no, we did not. We used an AI, therefore blah blah blah. Like, I don't doubt his tiny penis ego is gonna like be like that. I don't doubt.
Well,
but he doesn't know who you are, so he can't serve.
Well, it's too fucking bad because AI is gonna become very normalized in the coming years, so he's gonna have to accept it. You know?
And he's the idiot who promotes his voice so frequently.
Doesn't he frickin' have NFTs and shit too on his page?
He tried. He tried to make his like quote unquote Knuckles thing. What's it called? His whole Knuckles thing into an NFT, and it didn't work.
Alright. Didn't he use Shade as well? He has no legal rights.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly. Yep, that's exactly it. And like I said, it's fucking hilarious that he tried to do that, and everyone just kind of went like, "Lol, no."
Yeah,
it's like again, get fucked from
no
the
one likes this guy. He's a piece of shit that, you know, quite literally ruined Sonic for a good while because of his shit. You know?
Yeah.
I hope it's not immature to blame him for part of the mandate issue, which I know some of them may be made up, but I still blame him for it, partially.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now hold on. No, you're not wrong, and that's exactly the problem. Is that fucking? How do I put it? Oh god, I'm trying to think of the right word here. I'm just looking at something. Yeah, and that's exactly the problem. Is that Kenneth really fucking tried to like again, Kenneth is and still is the major problems that this entire Art Sonic problem has become, and it's only because he's caused so much fucking bullshit with everything he's made and everything he's done. It's just like Jesus fucking Christ, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not something I don't envy what you have to kind of put up with, because you, like, not you as an individual, but like everyone, you know? It's that, like I said, Kenneth basically just ruined a lot of things because he was not told no. He wasn't told like, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that. He snuck shit in, he did shit over and over again, and because no one supervised him, he really did introduce a lot of like awful fucking shit. And then ironically enough, enters fucking pointless slap fights with everyone. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Ken is basically Chris Chan if Chris Chan wasn't autistic and held back by everyone.
Yeah.
Which is fucking hilarious, all things considered, because I'm 75% sure that Ken does have some sort of like mental problem.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it. Oh god, I've never seen this before. It looks so beautiful.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We have locations like this in Chaos movies. Take notes.
Oh, absolutely. Exactly.
Tails lift me up, please. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Yes.
Let me see here. The other things as well is just, just generally how, like, again, I kind of want to mention this, is just the general kind of, like, ridiculousness of this whole thing. Like, and I want to bring this up, especially about everything the echidna and stuff. It's just that it's weird to see Ken just going so ham on the echidnas and just trying to make them like a, what's it called? Oh god, I'm trying to think of the right word here. Trying to make them such a massive fucking, forerunner species for some fucking reason, and I don't get why.
Because he was doing his shitty concept. I think that's the running theory.
Kind of. From what I understand, the Lost Ones was, always doomed to fail. And the reason why is because it was obviously an X-Men, rip-off, and no one in their right mind was actually going to give the Lost Ones a try. Like, apparently, what's the word? Like I said, it only ever got one issue. It didn't actually work, and then the Lost Ones got, like, cancelled after the first issue because, again, nobody cared about it. It was a stupid concept to begin with. Like, and again, like, his concept was basically the survivors of the Hiroshima bombs gain super abilities thanks to the mutation, right? It's like, obviously this is fucking X-Men, but at the very least he tried to, like, put a spin on it. But the problem is that he didn't actually try. The whole thing just became this, like, incredibly stupid, repetitive, just, like I said, it was just fucking movie. And because Ken is such a special individual, and I say that with, like, no sarcasm whatsoever, nobody really bought into the comic, nobody really cared. And it's for good reason, too, you know? Let me see here. So I'm trying to... Here we go. Yeah, and that's like I said, the constant irritation, because this frequent attempts to just try to make the fucking echidnas the forerunner species to everything, resulting in just like this sheer, unadulterated retardation of almost every little thing. Like, the whole... Like, and not only that, you also have the problems of like, just Kenneth not paying attention to anything of the, anything related to the, I'm trying to think of the right word here. Oh, I'm trying to think of the right word. Oh god, hold on. I'm trying to think of the right word here, hold on. Because he didn't pay attention to anything in regards to the fucking games, it just constantly created these fucking, like, problems that didn't need to happen. Like, you get the... What is it? Like, for example, when the whole, when Adventure 1 came out and basically, like, talked about the whole echidnas and, like, what's going on with them, Kenneth was, like, apparently super pissed the fuck off, because this flew in the face of everything, yada yada yada. I'm pretty sure he was like, oh, they should have consolidated with me, they should have talked to me before doing this. It's like, Sega doesn't owe you that luxury yet. They told you to build a comic around this to be promotional, you said, fuck you, I do what I want, and now you have to deal with it. So he did some like stupid shit trying to claim that like this tribe split off from the others, and you know, blah blah blah. Like just like I said, a lot more work that needed to, like, a lot less work that needed to be done if Ken just paid attention to what was happening and actually like listened to the games and everything like it. And I think I know the reason why he didn't want to do that, because in his warped mind, and he's gone on to say this like so many fucking times that it's just downright hilarious. He claims that Sonic is a comic series first and a video game second, where that is literally not the case whatsoever when you look at it.
Yeah.
In fact, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's not the case whatsoever.
Among other things, of course. And this is what it really kind of boils down to. The idiot basically put himself in a position where it was a lose-lose. Like, because he didn't want to have the game influence his incredibly creative stories, he just ran with whatever the fuck he wanted, and then, like, it was basically, here's the story the game presented, here's my story, I'm just gonna take the very, like, minimal pieces of that I need to, and then just build everything around it, and that's it. I don't need to, like, I don't need to do this, I don't need to do that, I don't need to do anything like that. It's just, this is it, there it is, goodbye. That was it. And the end result is literally just, what's the word? The end result is just like weaker and weaker and weaker stories every single time. Ironically, like when we consider this, what's the word? Ironically, when we consider this, it's the exact opposite of, what's it called? I'm trying to think of the right word here. It's the exact opposite of, what's the word? I'm trying to think of the right word here. Oh god. It's the exact opposite of, what happened. I wish. No, it's the exact opposite of what's going on with, what's it called? With Ian Flynn. Where with Ian, he's constantly like, oh, I need to reference everything in the games, I need to make it, like, synergize and blah, 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 right? And that's not a problem. Like, again, continuity welding is something that we should all kind of strive for, so we don't wind up with fucking plot holes that don't even exist. The problem is that you can entirely do something wrong with it, and you can actually, like, fuck it up. What's the word? You can absolutely fuck it up in, like, the worst possible way, and then you're stuck with, like, what's the word I'm looking for here? You can absolutely, like, fuck it up and wind up with something that's not even, right, you know, like, correct or yada yada yada. So you got that kind of problem, then you get, like, other things like that and so on and so forth. But if you're a decent writer, you can actually get something a little bit more interesting than just, you know, whoops, I fucked it up, you know. But again, that's neither here nor there. But that's what I mean. It's the differences between Ken Penders and Ian Flynn, where Ian would take everything he, what's the word? He'll take everything that's incorrect about, what's the word? Oh, sorry, where Ian will take everything from the games and then, like, craft the story around it, but be so beholden to it that he can't, like, actually make decent stories to move forward. He will, you know, when that happens, Ken will just build the story that's completely opposite of whatever's going on in the comic or the game, and then proceed to, like, build a completely different story altogether, you know?
Yeah.
And as a result, you get these series that are, like, unbelievably absurd, retarded, stupid, and you just kind of keep going over and over, and you're like, why should I bother, you know? Yeah, like, the problem is that not everything in Archie was terrible. You had some decent stories, some decent concepts, some pretty cool ideas. But the problem was purely that, what's it called? Like, not a terrible idea, not a terrible concept. Like, you had a lot of cool ideas and things going on, but the problem became that the stories became overly complicated, and the series became bloated with just nonsense. You know, it went from taking the the Sad AM skeleton, and then just went wild with like these incredibly desperate, weird, and frankly sometimes rather inappropriate stories that didn't need to be told. You know, like
oh yeah,
or like it's not
virginity taking.
The almost virginity taking of Sally Unicorn, or like, and I hate to use this because it's such an overdone argument, and it's always like some thinly veiled criticism of like media and shit like that, and blah 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 blah. But I'll say this with like no shadow of a doubt. The Archie Sonic comics were a bit on the misogynistic side. Like that whole bit of like, even though,
what was it? Like
go ahead.
Every single father figure, despite how shitty they treat their daughters, is good.
Yeah. I think it's worse with like Queen Max and everything. It's like he does extremely questionable things that I just kind of sit there and go like, in any other circumstance, the people would have your head on a pike, to say the least. But it just keeps saying, "Oh, he's right, yada yada yada." I think the worst part is like when, and Sally's always like portrayed in the wrong, or always like terribly like mistaken, or like just awful kind of shit. And then, like, I think there's that one moment where she says like, "What, my father's will?" And it's like, no, it's not. He's an idiot.
Yeah, didn't he?
Like he's literally.
Didn't they start a genocide against another race, and then it's justified because his God told him to do it or something?
Yeah, exactly. Which, again, so Ken introduces this like fucking weird thing where it's like, I forget what it's called. It's like this like, oh god, bear with me a second. It's this like primordial soup. I think it's like the will of all or some stupid shit like that. And basically, what's supposed to happen is that every time an acorn comes of age, they're supposed to like, what's it called? They go into like this primordial gold soup, and then they are like infused with like future information from the like will of all or whatever, and then that's how they learn and how they like are supposed to conduct themselves when what's it called? What's it called? I'm looking for here. Oh god, I'm trying to think of the right word here. Let me see. I'm trying to think of the right word here. Oh god, hold on, what's it called? Where, you know, it's supposed to like be like, oh, you're going to understand the will and da-da-da-da-da, and you become stronger and blah blah blah, like just a lot of like stupid shit, yada yada yada, like, and that's the justification of like why they're able to like rule, because we're being told by like this omniscient guru, yada yada yada. But then the more like you read into it, and the more like this shit happens, like the king's let fucking Eggman become who he is, and all the shit, and they like do awful things. My immediate thought is like, this isn't like a benevolent like being or ruler or anything like that. What this is, it sounds to me like a vindictive, eldritch abomination that you've basically like lassoed yourself to, because it gives you like quote unquote authority. Like, have you ever heard the expression "crowned by God"? It's an old expression, basically, to explain why a royal should rule when they're born. You know, when they're born and etc. to like legitimate someone being eligible to have the throne and yada yada yada. It was often said that if you were born into a royal family, you were by default crowned by God. Thus, your birth was christened by God Himself, and yada yada yada. And in a way, this like primordial goop is that expression taken to the most bastardized level. They're literally being christened by this like this eldritch abomination. Again, in any other story, this thing would be like challenged at every point and actually destroyed, at some point. But again, because Ken wants to do this whole people shouldn't rebel against their leaders and everything like that, and the individual is bad, and that's why you should always go again, always listen to the will of your overlords and yada yada yada. Yeah, exactly. He never actually brought that up as a negative or something to go against. It was always oh, it's right because it's the good guys. Of course it's gonna be right. Okay, whatever you say, mister. I want all Republicans to die because you're fucking terminally online.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was talking about that.
Yeah, he how he was going on and on, I disown any family member who votes Republican and blah 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 blah. And I'm just sitting there
that reminds me of Wings bringing a shotgun to one of his cousin's things because he's
Jesus. Yeah, these idiots always can do that. Yeah, again, these idiots will always go oh, we're so tolerant, yada yada, and yet they're the first to declare violence.
Yeah, they're the first to get angry at you if you think differently than them.
Yeah. Self-righteous, judgmental, first to throw the stone, and using his name for your own protection.
Yeah.
And it's such hubris and fucking bullshit, and I just can't I can't justify that. But still, like I said, Ken is probably the worst of all this, and that's saying a hell of a lot, especially considering his stanzas, his this, his that, just over and over again. And that's what I mean. Just Ken can't help himself. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, he'll always try to cause shit because he's someone who thinks with his emotions rather than logically, and then we'll go oh, this and this, and I'm right in the moment, but then at the same time we'll also go in and disavow himself if the winds change, yada yada yada. And like I said, it's such a bullshit. Like I said, with Archie, it was always a matter of sometimes you got a decent story with a questionable kind of premise, or it was wildly inappropriate. Other times you got just something that you could just look at and you're okay, see, this is why I'm not reading. Which is, like I said, kind of funny, all things considering, especially for me, because like I said, I grew up with Sonic and everything like that, but I never, I avoided the comics somehow, and not because I was actively trying to avoid them. It was more what's the word? It was just happenstance. Somehow, actually, hold on a second. I'll be right back. Give me one quick second.
No, come the frick on, man. 14 more lives to spare.
No, yeah, so, sorry, what I was saying is that somehow I avoided the comics, again, like I said, not because I was actively avoiding it or because I heard about, like, how awful it was. It was just pure circumstance and happenstance. I never found places that had the comics that, like, share. I never actually, like, I didn't know where to look for it, like, online or anything like that. It was just all, oh yeah, here it is, blah, 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 blah. Or here they are, here are the characters, and I never, like I said, I never looked into it further. I just knew that these things were a thing, and that was it. I think the closest I ever got to an official Sonic comic was from my friend John, who, during a sleepover, we were going through his stuff and everything, like he was showing off, and then I noticed the comic. I open it, I read some of it, like, it was one with the fucking ant in it. I read it, I look it over a bit, I'm like, okay, this is weird. But I didn't really think much of it at the time. I just kind of put it down and went like, okay, whatever. And that was it. I guess that's the weirdest thing about it all. I just never got introduced to the comics, and I never really followed them until much, much later, when I started to hear a lot of the controversies, and I think it was after the whole Ken Penders lawsuit that I was made aware of it. I later watched Brain Scratch Comms, and then, like, referencing this and referencing that and talking about Ken Penders, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then eventually, that was about it. It didn't bother much after that. After I heard about everything and about how the comic ends with a cliffhanger, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna read that. Because I hate cliffhanger stories, and that was basically it.
Yeah, cliffhangers are
Yes, among other things too, but like I said, it's not something I was too, I wasn't like too bothered by it at the time. I just kind of let it be. Now, upon like much older, I can like appreciate the comics for what they tried to do, but also just kind of sit there and go like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is so bizarre and weird, and like, oh my god, why would you do this, Like, what is it? They do this whole, like, war between, like, humans, they call them overlanders, because they have, like, 3 fingers and shit like that. Like, there's some, for the sake of convenience, humans and, like, yada yada yada, and how, like, there's 2 instances, like, it's literally, like, history repeats itself, like, the prince at the time meets a kid, and the kid shoots a gun, and this winds up, like, accidentally killing him. And then 2 kids like discover the truth, but then they're like actually murdered on page by some Mobian general. It's like, you see what I mean? It's like the tone of this story went from wildly like silly to inappropriate to just questionable every single time. And when I say like inappropriate, I mean like shit that doesn't need to be in the story. Like it's trying to take itself too seriously, and it mistakes like having adult content as being mature, when in reality it just comes off as immature more so than anything, Like having a character swearing up and down is not a sign of a mature character, it's just a sign of like someone who thinks they're mature trying to talk mature. And it's usually the more refined character or the more like withheld character that's viewed as more adult. Like Master Chief, as far as I'm aware, doesn't really swear, keeps himself stable. Would you call him like a childish character?
No, I mean,
exactly.
Mentally, no. I mean, yes, because it's a child's soul. But when it comes down to it, I think he's pretty mature. He's like soft, at the square at people. Actually, he swore once in Halo 2. I think he said, I would rather not piss this thing off to the grave mound when he's quit it.
But it's like, exactly, like, in the context, it's like, don't make it mad, But that's about it. Like, this is a moment where he says that as kind of a point of, don't get it, like, angry, without actually having to, don't get it angry. I think it would have weakened his position and point. But that's what I mean, like, it's stuff like this that makes it so incredibly difficult, and it's why the Archie comics went from something interesting to something absurd to just, like, just questionable. And even when Ian Flynn takes over, there's like the damage is already done. And even though he acknowledges that a lot of Ken's characters are shit and tries to get rid of them, he goes about it in like the most disrespectful ways possible. Like, I get it. Not every character people are gonna like love and adore, but you should like write them out of the story in such a way that like makes sense and doesn't like piss off the audience, you know? Like, killing characters left and right is not good, especially if and by that not good, I mean like it's not good storytelling you've handled before.
Just kills them off so disrespectful, and just, you know, honestly, a lot of Archie fans don't like Ian for that because he was so disrespectful about it. It's like, oh yeah,
legacy
see, this
characters,
stuff you love, we're gonna just destroy it in every single way possible so we can make it canon for the games. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, when in reality you could just have them out of the story in other ways. But that's constantly the problem that not only Ian, but like everyone in Archie had. Like they would like introduce and then kill off characters in weird ways because it was always like a massive pissing match between every writer who come in. I think it's because there was no like unified enjoyment for one another. Like, and I think this is mostly because Ken didn't really inspire a lot of like confidence and trust, because this guy like put himself in every role and purposely would try to like diminish or undersell or like just do shit in general to like just piss people off. And so there was like this constant like, okay, if Ken's not on a book, I'm going to do everything in my power to get rid of whatever he created, because fuck that guy. I think there's like a moment, I forget the context, but there's like a human character who's like a black midget who is a that's the best I can describe him, because I think his like design, he's supposed to be what? Oh, the Jabal. Sorry, I just looked at the screen the moment you tried to hit him and the explosion happens, like, oh hi, what's up, boom!
Oh my god, I forgot how annoying it is to fight him. It's actually his original theme remix.
Like pain in the ass fucking kangaroo. And so that's what you hit when you tried to hit him.
So, the thing about him too is when you take care of him, you get he's unlockable.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this is
I can see how the Doom engine... Yeah, it's like... I can see how the Doom engine really helped sell this sort of situation. Fully 3D environments with 2D sprite characters bouncing around doing other stuff. It really sells the immersion.
Damn, I'm trying to... His death is kind of funny because you kick him off the thing and then he hits a sign. He tries to escape. And it's also annoying that he does the pop gun shooter thing, because when he does that, he can stun lock you and shoot you.
Plus it looks, and again this is mostly because the stream is very crunchy. It's very difficult to see the cork shot, so you wind up like unintentionally getting hit by it when you don't see it. Speaking of streaming and everything like that, the Sonic Superstars, are gonna like be streaming this just on Discord, or will you be trying to like do it somewhere?
On YouTube.
Oh, okay.
That's what
so Jesus Christ. Sorry, that was a bit excessive. It's like, I'm not only gonna like bump you off, I'm gonna throw you off the train too.
I remember when I used to be able to do this pretty easily, but since I haven't played this game in 2 years, forgetting how to do this.
Bang is just constantly like punching you in the face, and you're like, God damn it!
He obviously has a booster because he's appearing in the game.
Probably. Well, it's like, to be fair, again, to like Bang, he hasn't had shit since, I want to say, the 90s, so it's like, you know, how to make sense.
I mean, this update came out in 2000. 2019, I considered this like the Sonic game of that year. So like when it came down to that, that was like
as a cameo, not even like an official character.
Yeah, the freaking heavy magician.
Which pissed off a lot of people because they were scared that this meant that Fang wouldn't like Fan, Bean, and Bark would just like never come back, like relegated to this fucking cameo character. Oh, this isn't annoying at all.
Tails, get him!
Fuck him up! Oh god, the camera. Suck it, you fuck!
Yeah, it uses the warning sign from Generations at the bottom is split.
I just love that. He's like, you're never gonna get me. God! It's the fucking sign. Full force, like some wily coyote shit.
Well, there was actually that stage. Eric Kenny was so inspired by that. At the start of the stage, there's like a painted-in wall.
Oh, let's see.
Like the showing the tunnel where it was safe.
Oh, okay. Still, that's a nice little inspiration. Anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked there.
No, it's okay. It's my fault I brought it out. I just wanted to show you that.
Oh no, you're fine. What was it? All right, the black little guy. So, basically, I forget his name, but he was like a scientist, and apparently he's one of like the characters that helps like reverse the roboticization, and like a lot of like they try to make him an important character. Obviously, this is someone Ken's trying to like set up as like the good robot, like some stupid shit, right? So naturally, as a result, you put yourself in like a horrible position.
Yeah.
It's like,
yes.
no, it's not. Nah, fuck. It's like, no, it won't. Fuck. You made it. Anyway, so obviously Ken was like trying to set him up as like some sort of like good robot, and like, you know, typical Ken Penders like Mary Sue rival. But somebody else got like their hands on the character like for the next page in comic, and this was like during the Adventure 2 stuff, basically. It's like back in Station Square, but like some I forget the comics. But basically, Eggman or Robotnik had set up this like impregnable like force field around this new facility, and he's trying to like he's created like some sort of master command signal that lets him control all his roboticized soldiers and things like that. And you know, Sonic and the others are trying to like stop it, but they also know that like they need to get the others out, blah 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 blah. They have no choice. Sonic winds up blowing up the facility by just like getting, I think he gets the Ark's cannon to fire on it, and because the shield's still in place, it winds up like the blast is contained to the facility until that shield goes down. But even then, by that point, it won't matter. But after it's all said and done, like they start realizing like, oh god, we messed up because they just blew up all those innocent people who were turned into robots, including Nick Morgan, that's his name, Nick. And it's like that one moment where it's like, oh my god, we fucked it up. Like even Sonic is like, what have I done? Like he's like breaking down slightly. It's like we got them out, right? Like it's almost as if it happened. Like now the funny thing about that is that I think what happened here is that the writers legitimately forgot that they put roboticized people in there, not just regular ass, you know, like mass-produced SWAT robot Badnik. And so as a result, it's only after they blew it up that they realized, ah shit, we fucked this up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, congratulations, you fucked up in a way that I don't think you expected to fuck up. But yeah, this is what I mean. It's a constant problem with, you know, with RG's storytelling and the direction and everything about that. It's just they try to introduce shit that doesn't actually like work in any way, shape, or form. They'll do things. They'll try to create characters, and then they'll like get rid of them, or wind up like failing to tell the story properly, or get the character to actually have like a decent send-off. In fact, I don't think any Archie character actually gets a good ending in any way, shape, or form. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I guess so. I never read the comics, so I don't know, but I'm gonna
Neither have I, at least not in like the fullest sense of the word. I've only been watching like comic book reviewers and people who like give quick synopses on the story and what happens and like the weirder shit. But I don't actually hear anything in terms of like the quote unquote the proper story. Like that's why projects like my whole Sonic Shattered Dimension stuff has not really gotten off the ground, because I need to do a lot of research into the characters themselves, and the problem really just boils down to what's it called? In order for me to because again, if I'm going to write about a character that's not my own, I need to study the character's history. I need to know their interactions. I need to know everything about them in order to capture it appropriately. And if it's if I'm off in any way, shape, or form, that's simply because I haven't done the right kind of research. I pride myself on mimicking the styles and the speaking matters and everything about a character, basically. And Archie, I think, has some 250 characters that ain't just the main cast. So essentially, I would be I would have to read the entire fucking comic, read up everything about these characters specifically, just to get an idea of who it is and everything like that. And people are like, oh, why don't you just look up the characters history? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And etc. etc. And it's not that easy, because it might give me an overview, but it doesn't give me character-specific interactions, character-specific things. I can capture, for example, Starline's personality and general motives and so on and so forth, because I actually read his character and I know how to mimic that as well as I can. But I can't do the same for Dr. Fenativis or Locke or any of these other characters, because I have no idea what the fuck they're doing. Tails just gets locked out, fuck you, Tails.
Yeah, he's not going to Egg Rock.
No, it's Tails. Again, Tails. No. He goes to Egg Rock, but what happens is that Tails is just hanging from the outside of the ship the entire time. Sonic, please open the door for the love of God. There's 2 seats in there. Sonic's just I like to spread my feet.
I need to frickin' look up the medallion location so I can get Super Sonic. There's the Earth.
Nice. But yeah, that's kind of what I mean. It's just, I can mimic these characters down to a specific T, but I can't mimic them without the reference material, how they interact and everything like that. I can't actually make the characters one-to-one, and so it's always going to be I guess you could call it a blank space and all that sort of shit. Yeah. They'll be out of what's the word? OCC, out of character, and I hate doing it.
Yeah.
I really do, because that's so fucking cringy, and I hate being oh, I'm gonna I don't know, I'm gonna make Shadow a fucking Christian for some reason. What the fuck?
Sonic the
Bible fuck. Oh god. If only. I'm sure. Actually, now that you say that, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of pseudo-Christian bootleg Sonic the Hedgehog, where it's Sonic the Biblical Hall, or something like that. I don't know. I mean, we know for a fact that there is actually, it actually correlates with what you're doing. There is, and I shit you not, a ROM hack of Doom, which is Jonah's Ark, and it's literally just not Doom, Wolfenstein. Basically, what happens is that if you put in the ROM hack into your fucking, what is it called? I think it was Game Gear or something I can't remember right off the top of my head, But I know for a fact that if you did that, you would play this like awful fucking bootleg of what's it called? Of Wolfenstein, the first game. But it actually turns out that if you hit the ROM hack or the ROM cartridge, I should say, you could actually glitch the system and actually play Wolfenstein instead of this Jonas Ark Bible shit.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where it's like, your coding is shit, Christians. And you know, that's basically it there. Anyway, side point. Like I said, wouldn't be surprised if there was a Christian Sonic bootleg thing that we're not aware of. And the goal is to spread crosses across Green Hill. Anyway, Eggman's the devil. Yeah, exactly. Like that's the goal. You're fighting Satan, and it's not even Satan. It's just a red egg. They just paint them red. Anyhow, so you know that's that. And like I said with Archie, it's just questionable decisions and just generally like actually trying to tell a story that I don't think a lot of people were. I don't want to say interested because that's like undermining a lot of people who actually cared about Archie back in the day. It's more that I think not a lot of people were too happy with what came of it or some of the more questionable decisions. Again, it just boils down to an awful person in charge of something that should have been amazing to begin with. But you know, that's the problem with Ken Pender. With Ian, like I said, I truly believe Ian Flynn gives a shit about Sonic. I just don't think that he is willing to do anything creative with the character because of like his time with Archie and the fact that he just wants everything to be canonical with the games instead of actually like making something that could be fun and intriguing. Now I say that, but you know, he's doing things with this whole mimic being a spy thing, and like it feels like he's trying to incorporate some old Archie aspects into IDW. So I'll give him points for that. Like he's trying to do something. I guess he must have heard the criticisms and like, okay, we'll try something a bit more original. So as much as it's like as much as we would like to give Ian shit for, you know, quote unquote problems and issues and, you know, etc., you know, like all these sorts of things, we can't deny the fact that, you know, he does give a shit about Sonic to some degree. And that's, again, a weird, a weird sentiment to say. Like again, our gripes with the guy is Sonic. You know, it's not the worst thing. Or he's not the worst thing in the world, like I said. The worst thing in the world is still Ken fucking Pender.
This stage is gonna be hard. Both the Emerald and I'm probably gonna fail.
Okay, no problem. Oh, speaking of which, though, I'm seeing this. I was gonna mention something earlier today. So remember when we talked about Sonic Shuffle?
Yeah.
I was doing some research into that yesterday, and I found something. I don't know if you were there when Megatank and I spoke about this, or if you already managed to make your pasta.
I put myself on deafen because he was giving me sensory overload, and I just needed some time to think about some stuff.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't know.
So.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I get it. It's like Megatank is kind of overbearing at points. But so I'll just mention this again. Basically, from what I understood, so we talked about Sonic Shuffle and the disturbing Sonic Vagina mouth, which yes, I can now confirm without a shadow of a doubt. The mouth actually was. So this is what I discovered. So you know Sonic's muzzle, right? The mouth part, as it is? Right, so from what I understand, basically to do the cutscenes where Sonic is like talking and the characters are talking, they actually modeled a completely new muzzle piece, and then proceeded to overlay it onto the character. What's the word? Onto the characters. Oh god, what's it called? Onto the characters' faces. So the mouth would be a separate entity. So that's why the characters would like put their head to one position and not really move their head that much. And as a result, that's why the weird vagina mouth thing is going on. It's literally because it's completely different. What's the word? It's a completely different. Oh god, what's the word? It's a completely different model, basically. And as a result, that's why it's all just so weird and just weird, basically, I should say. And I can see why that's so difficult to play. Ugh, no thank you.
I was a little too impatient when I got all best stage in the game.
Oh. I get you.
No!
And to space you go.
Now, there's a reason I use this music from.
I can see why. And totally not because you have PTSD of the state.
If you try to quit, the game literally insults you and says, "Oh, is Egg Rock too hard for you?"
Oh, that dick monkey. It's like, maybe I don't have time to play anymore because I got work in the morning, you fucker.
Actually, I gotta look up the emerald location. I'm not getting a bad ending.
Alright, go ahead.
Like last one, I already knew.
I getcha. Where was I? Oh, yes. So it's a separate entity, so basically that's why the weird vagina mouth is there, is because they actually had to model one in, because they actually couldn't do the whole painted mouth thing. Yeah, because they wanted to do the painted mouth, but apparently Sega was like, no, you can't do that because we want you to show off the Dreamcast's hardware, and like characters with actual mouths are far more quote-unquote interesting than blah 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 blah. And you just kind of sit there like, are you insane? You know, like, there's limitations for that reason, but whatever. So they wind up doing this, right? And eventually Hudson Soft, because yeah, that's the name of the company. They have to do this, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, this is something I've recently discovered. Sonic Shuffle was supposed to be the quote-unquote official connection from Sonic to Knights. Yep, officially. They discovered recently in like the game's code that a Knights model was actually inside the game and said to be the character that you encounter throughout the game. And basically, from what I understand, the story was supposed to be like I said, Sonic was going to meet with Knights. This was going to be like the Knightopian world, etc., etc. So that's why like all the enemies have these kind of like weird dreamlike appearances, and the main enemy was supposed to be reality. But apparently, from what I understand, Yuji Naka was like, no, you're not going to do this, you know, blah 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 blah. I want to keep Sonic and Knights separate, and so as a result, the story got completely changed, and Hudson Soft had to change the characters from Knights and Riala to, oh god, what are their names? I don't know. These two like completely different characters, and that's why their designs are still Knights-esque. Excuse me, still Knights-esque, but not quite the same. So it's like an unofficial thing. We still wanted them to be this, basically. Which is interesting, all things considered, because it implies that if that's the case, then there would have been more like shit with Sonic and, you know, yada yada yada, which could have probably like opened the door for like a more nightmarish dream sequence, like, you know, properly introducing the concept of like almost like a magic system and yada yada yada. Allegedly, I should say.
Yeah. Probably. That'd be pretty cool. But
Yeah, just it would be interesting to see how Knights, like, again, Knights is very clearly a character that is like locked into a specific setting, and he because apparently Knights is actually confirmed to be a boy, not actually a girl. So, okay. A lot of people did, but apparently, like, it's long been since confirmed that Knights is supposed to be a eccentric boy, basically. Like, the idea is that Knights is supposed to be androgynous, but appearance-wise androgynous, but is actually a boy, because they wanted people to like identify with Knights, regardless of like gender and everything like that. But it didn't actually like. But most people view Knights as a girl because of the high-pitched voice and yada yada yada, and like the very obvious kind of like flamboyant nature. But of course, in more recent years, people have kind of realized, oh yeah, that's a dude. It's just very posh, essentially. So, like, how I typically describe Knights is this. I say the following every single time. Ah, yes, the gay clown. Or, like, again, this was, like, something I was going to do as a comic, basically, and have Knights pop in for, like, a dream sequence, and my comic character just kind of going, like, so why am I talking to a gay clown right now? You know, like, if this is supposed to be a dream, why am I doing this? Something like that, basically. But it never really got anywhere because, again, the problem is that unfortunately there's no decent model of Knights in Gary's mod. Most of it is just like it's the low poly version, or it's the Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing model, which is decent, but the model has no face posing, no eye posing, no nothing. So I kind of have to like. I would have to do like some clever camera tricks to make it look like the character's actually talking. Which I hate. But hey, what you gonna do? Anyhow, so that's, like I said, that's generally my kind of like, that's basically what I mean, is that Knights, like, not only is Knights gameplay basically kind of completely different, because technically you would just experience it now with the special stage.
Yeah.
It's also the same with, like, literally how Knights is as a character. That Knights is based on dreams and yada yada yada. That's kind of it. And it was always kind of like to use like a geographical term, landlocked into what it is. There was never really anything much that Knights could have done outside of that, unfortunately. Like, as unfortunate as it sounds, Knights is nice job there.
Yeah.
Knights is some Mission Impossible shit. I'm gonna go between the lasers. But that's the thing. Knights is just kind of limited to the whole dreamscape, yada yada yada. There's really no like, what's it called? There's really no way for Knights to just kind of be his own character, like exist elsewhere. It's always just gonna be you're in the dream Knights, yada yada yada. Again, and that's why I guess there was such a heavy push to make Balam the way it is. Yeah. Also made by Yuji Naka. So you know how I keep telling you where it's like, don't try to be overly ambitious and just try to keep things as simple as possible for your own sake. Exactly. Just keep it exactly that. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. The thing about it is that he didn't do that. So I'm just going to summarize the quote. For Yuji Naka originally, he wanted to make. By the way, can you reset these special stages at all?
No, I can't. This is my last
Oh, that's such bullshit. Such bullshit.
Yeah, I guess they wanted to be in spirit with the classic game.
I'm gonna look for a mod for this that lets you redo the special stages, because fuck this shit.
Well, this is the only hard one, honestly.
Okay, granted, but still, you know what I mean. It's just, what's it called? It's just still kind of bullshit. Whatever. Anyhow, but that's what I mean. The general kind of like, the thing about this whole problem is that with, what's it called? So what Yuji Naka wanted is that he wanted the game to be, it was ambitious, but Yuji Naka's also someone who's been like, control setup should be simple, they shouldn't be like overly complicated, they shouldn't be this, they shouldn't be like, he was basically the reason why Sega for the longest time didn't incorporate other buttons on controllers and things like that. Like everything was on the one button controller setup because Yuji Naka believed in keeping a game overly simple for the sake of it being overly simple. And these are the problems that that Balan Wonderworld faced, because since he wanted the game to be picked up by everyone, because it's that mentality of everybody should have the ability to play this game regardless of your age, your skill level, yada yada yada. As a result, how do I put it? There's no more buttons other than the ones you basically get. So you have the action button, which is both literally your jump and your action. So if you're in a situation where it's like, what's the word? Nice job.
69.
With 3 seconds to spare.
And I'll get an extra life, so if I mess up on Metal Sonic, I'll be fine.
It's like, fuck you, I've got a 1-up. Anyway, sorry.
Okay.
Let me see here, where was I?
And you can also play as him too, if you beat him.
Oh, that's cool. So where was I? Right, so because everything had to be like, he wanted everything to be like overly simple, yada yada. The costume actions wound up being the same as your jump button, and because you couldn't remap any buttons to anything else, literally you can't jump in this game if the action button is literally to do an action. And if the action isn't actually like part of like the B button or like the action button, you can jump, you just can't use your abilities. So it meant that a lot of costumes were just basically, a lot of costumes were like automated with power. So some of them could actually like, if you stood still for like 3 seconds, the costume ability would activate. But if you like moved around or whatever, it would do it like, you get what I mean. A lot of powers were basically like tied to movement or in action, and it's like on a platformer when enemies are like jumping all over the place and trying to like eat your ass, that's not good. That's not a good thing. You can't afford to just Jesus.
The cheater.
What's it called? Rubber banding piece of shit robots.
There's the wrestling ring.
Sorry, it still makes me good with the whole like rubber banding piece of shit robots. I need to do that now. Anyway, sorry, what was I? Right, so basically, like I said, it didn't help. It also turns out that they wanted to make the game, they wanted to have like the costume abilities be specific to each world, but it was always going to be like, there was going to be an attack type, puzzle type, speed type, etc. So he was taking some influence from the classic Sonic games and like that, right? But the problem was that the costume team, like he expected them to only make like 3 costumes and that was it. There wouldn't be anything more, anything less. They wound up making over 50 because since everything had to just kind of follow a very simple design, they said, oh sure, we'll do it. And you can start seeing where the problem things start to manifest. If every character has an ability, you're gonna wind up with like some that are more useful than others, or some that are more worthless. And the end result, oh boy, was it not a fun experience. A real time waster, really. And again, this is why I keep saying keep it simple, stupid. Because his over-ambition resulted in a game that was not fun to play, and it's just a fucking chore. To the point where I don't think anyone actually cares about Balan Wonderworld in a gameplay sense. Like, there are fans of it, there are still people who want to play, like the characters enough to actually like make art and everything about them. But there's not enough people who will actually say like, oh, the game's good or anything like that. It needs like, no joke, it needs like someone to pull a Project 06 for it, like legitimately. Yeah, that's how bad it is. Like I said, there is no what's the word? The gameplay is really bad because you're limited to one button for literally everything. The level layouts are not conducive to what you're supposed to do, and the gameplay is not it's not fun in any way, shape, or form. Not only that, the bosses are also very like meh because they're designed to be beaten with literally every costume. So you can literally just cheese a boss by just spamming the same attack over and over and over.
Yeah.
And this is, like I said, this is the legitimate problem with this whole in the world is not
Thing from you.
really.
Yeah.
I see it, but it's so fucking small.
Yeah. It's supposed to be in another zone, but right now it's in Egg Rock.
Okay. I mean,
Apparently it's just a replay of Cactus.
oh, I see it. Yeah, it's literally doing the same kind of animation. I see. Or same attacks, I should say. Get in this. Get in that, you piece of shit.
I wonder how they have like
Probably because, again, with Doom, especially like classic Doom, you need, in order to create the sprites, you need a physical model to do it because the technology is you can use just sprites and things like that, but in order to do it like this, you would need a full scale model art. The question is, who made it and how?
I don't know, they're called Sonic. They've been developed since
I'm not surprised.
Oh, I forgot he does that.
Jesus. Talk about not.
Yeah.
Do the other characters have like special skills of their own, or
Yeah, so
just
Knuckles and Tails does their thing in here.
like flying and everything?
Bang Amy can use the hammer style. What else? In Metal Sonic, he fly, and once he can overheat and charge his spikes.
I see. Let me see.
There's also
Are there any? Right, because I remember seeing a Surge and a Kit mod that's basically just reskins of Sonic and Tails here, at least in terms of okay, in terms of like what's it called? In terms of oh Christ, animations and things like that, but they come with their own abilities. Like Surge has an electric shield, like super attack and I think Kit has like some water tentacle thing. Like it's basically just the same thing, just like change. So it's well appreciated. So where Sonic World basically is just taking the 3D aspect of Sonic series. Roblox is just taking the 2D sprite era and giving it some love and attention.
Yeah.
Which again, I appreciate it. For what it is. Oh good, he's an idiot. Oh god! You almost went flying there. Like, oh, I'm gonna hit him now. It's like, no, stop! I can't! Stop! Bye, Tails. Again. You dick!
Yay.
Okay.
Zeg rock zone.
Oh god, why do I build this shit if it never works? Just constantly questioning life choices at that point. Anyhow, but yeah. Nice. But yeah, no, the overall kind of like aesthetic I think is alright, but you know, it's neither here nor there. Still, like I said, with getting back to Battleland, it needs a modder to actually like go in and try to make this game decent. And allegedly, Yuji Naka claims the following that Square Enix fucked him over and they didn't give him the time he needed, and like he makes a lot of claims about what Square Enix did to him, and people believe it. I'm not so sure about that personally.
He fucked over the Sonic Extreme team. I don't care if he got his stuff screwed over. He deserved that. Yeah,
yes, Hank, I agree.
Hold on, I think he wants to be there now. I'll be right back.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm back.
And welcome back. I'm just listening to some just ridiculous shit.
What ridiculous shit?
Yeah. No, just some Irish person going on about the fucking Freddo's bars again. Freddo bars are basically like it's a chocolate candy like in the UK, and it's like it's really fucking popular with the Irish, and they're like, oh the fucking Freddo bars, mate, and it's like okay, like it's just fucking weird. I'm like, why do you care so much about a pantsless frog that you're just gonna eat in like 5 seconds, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I suspect shenanigans are afoot here, and not the fun kind. It's the weird kind. Anyway, so yeah. Sorry, I just loaded up a peculiar map. I'm just kind of exploring this right now. So what the fuck is all this? Okay. What's this? I think I could use this map for like Sonic related stuff. Yeah, fuck it, why not? is owned by the same company, so apparently I'm not too off the mark. Anyway. Let me see. So, yeah. Yeah, no, actually, I think this could work. I just need to... I don't need to deal with the low poly stuff, at least at most of it, anyways. But yeah, no, other than that, because I'm just kind of thinking on this a bit more, let me see. Yeah, no, I'm just wondering what else is going to happen moving forward, and, you know, that sort of thing. Like, especially with, like, the whole stuff with, like, Project 06 and everything. It's like, Jesus Christ,
Didn't
man.
they finish it?
Technically, they've added the silver campaign, and from what I understand now, they're just, like, adding in, oh god, oh, I hate this. But sorry, I'm just, like, exploring the fucking map, and the map creator's, like, plastered his fucking name everywhere. It's like, my guy, please. No.
Halo. It's so
Hate
new,
that.
unfinished.
Immersion ruining piece
I'm
of
not exactly
shit.
sure what will happen when we fire it.
We'll head for the portal.
Anyway, technically it's finished. It's just the circumstances with it is just that since the silver mod's been, but the silver campaign's been added in, basically everything's now ready and set. But from what I understand, the creator or like either the creators,
masculine. Can you just bring the voice up just up a bit in the pitch more?
Or just the one person?
Then we'll all go.
They want to
higher pitch.
What's it
Welcome
called?
home, John.
There's some statement apparently that they want to make more with it, like actually change
home.
the story and
slower.
change the cutscene, so it's no longer just
Instead of arg.
what's it called?
Garg.
So it's no longer
Garg.
just
Garg.
oh, what's the word
You're a
I'm looking for
sunflower,
here?
Keith. You're a sunflower.
You know, just the same shit
Right.
over and over again. Like they actually want to make it a completely different story,
Keith, can we just try a bit more sultry?
A bit more sultry, please, Keith.
That makes
like proper, I should say. And
Question.
allegedly, that's
Go
the
faster.
idea, the
coming.
general goal
It's so
for this. Like they actually want to make change the story, change it from like just what's the word? Change it from just the base story to actually something a bit more unique or more fitting with the rest of it. So apparently there's some talks about like changing the plot around, changing some of the characterization, actually having like Elise do shit. Like there's, like I said, there's a lot of things being worked on. I know that a lot of the characters also got major reworks. Like, for example, Omega actually got his gameplay changed, where now he works like an actual proper like fighting robot. Like you can do things that he does in like cutscenes and you know things like that, and so on and so forth. So it's actually like there's more going on than just what's the word? Than just like you know pushing the attack button over and over again. Amy has a completely like different move set now, where she doesn't just become invisible; she actually becomes like capable. You know, so like there's a lot of shit going on. Basically.
Invisible for Amy. Oh god.
Yeah, like that never made sense. It's like why can Amy like turn invisible? Why can Amy turn invisible? It's like. So, you know, there's actual shit going on. They've changed some of the characterization, they changed some of the aspects, like everything like that, and actually tried to make the characters stand a bit differently than what they used to, essentially. And like I said, I'm not too bothered by that. I think that's actually a great thing. It's just I'm curious to see what they're going to do with the story and how they're gonna like change it, how they're gonna like introduce like different elements, you know, so on and so forth, basically. A part of me thinks that they're just going to try and like I don't know if they're just gonna like retcon the story to like be more in line with the proper Sonic story, or if they're actually gonna like change the story to fit better with what's it called? With something like what's it called? Something like not even adventure, but yeah, like the adventure themes and everything like that. Because I got a feeling that's what they're gonna try and do. Because it makes the most sense, I should say. But at the same time, it's not clear per se. Like if they do go with it, it's one of those things where you're gonna have to like sit there and go like, okay, what are you? So if you do this, what will be the like end goal / like end decision / so on and so forth,
Yeah.
Let me see here. So that's the general kind of synopsis there. Like I said, I'm curious to see what they come up with, especially when it comes to like, what's it called? Especially to when it comes to like characters like Silver, Blaze, like everything. Part of me thinks they're going to try and like change Blaze's story to be more like more in line with her Rush counterpart, and actually explain like she is from another dimension, yada yada yada, and that's what she does, and then explains like where she gets the firepower from, and because she's like removed from the timeline of this reality, that's why she's able to do all this like crazy stuff, like da 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 da.
Yeah.
Like it's entirely possible that that's kind of like the general synopsis they could go with, but at the same time, I'm not 100% sure if that's what they're going to wind up doing. It's still kind of like high in the air, not really like clarified, not really explained, so we'll just have to wait and see. I don't think there's much that needs to be changed with like Sonic or like Shadow's campaigns, now that I think about it. Like at the most, I guess you could try to like explain away why Shadow's working with G-Wen, but even then it's like, does that really need like addressing per se?
Yeah, it's not really.
It's like, I guess if you wanted to like justify it in the sense of like Shadow the Hedgehog and everything, maybe, but at the same time, it's kind of like, it's not like a world-shattering revelation, It's not like oh my god, we need this because my stories and stuff like that. It's more like, okay, whatever you want to do, crazy. Let me see here. So, you got that going on. Again, with Sonic's campaign, not a lot of change outside of like Elise not being a damsel in distress every like 5 fucking seconds.
Yeah.
Like that's the only like I said, I think that's the only major change they would probably try to do, because let's face it, like I said, Elise is, for like a majority of the story, she's a damsel in distress, or she's being like captured by Eggman, and like she's supposed to be the leader of her own country, and you think, don't they have like a military or something? Why don't you kind of like address that? But it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
I know that the levels have been tweaked slightly, so there were some things that are now changed between iterations. Like, for example, in Wave Ocean, for example, like, you don't actually meet Tails, like, or I should say, let me rephrase that. In Wave Ocean, you actually will, like, chase down the egg carrier. Like, you actively see it going in the distance.
Yeah.
And then that's...
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine.
Hold on. Hey.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh.
Okay, I'm back. It's just my brother was coming home, so they were barking.
You're fine. No, it's fine, it's fine. Where was I? I mentioned something with, right, the campaigns and things like that. Like, they actually change it up enough where it makes sense that Sonic would, like, now do the speed boost to try and catch up with the egg carrier and stuff like that. They changed some of it. Introductions to certain characters, yada, yada, yada. They'll actually, like, what is it? For those scenes where, where Sonic and, like, Co need to, like, go through doors and stuff like that, like the character will just randomly spawn in outside the door that they need to go through and everything like that. Now it's changed to where the character will instead be next to the person who opens that like next section in the level, and they actually like will do stuff and actually like kind of continue, yada yada yada. The gameplay is slightly changed for some of the characters. Apparently, some of the enemies have also seen like minor updates in terms of like AI and code and everything like that. They've actually included the gems you could find. So you know how in the game proper you can like buy certain gems to like make Sonic stronger from like the shop and things like that. Now it's the gems are scattered throughout the levels in his campaign, and when you get them, the meters are actually like done properly. Like some of them are altered, obviously, but most of them work the same. But now it's not as broken as before. Um, Let me see. So you got that going on. Like I said, in terms of the stories and cutscenes, apparently there is already like some in-game cutscenes they've managed to create for the game, but they're still having difficulties with the baked-in cutscenes. So the CGI cutscenes, the what's it called? The oh god, what's the word I'm looking for here? And the in-game cutscenes, you know, like the ones that are like scripted cutscenes, like in engine, but clearly like not in the game proper per se.
Yes.
So it's supposedly they're cracking it and they're going to be changing like some of it around. So it's going to be a bit more interesting to see it. But apparently, this mod has actually introduced some new issues with '06, but not in a like we broke the game even more. It's more in a so this is why these characters are like that. They've increased Silver's base speed, so he's no longer like the slowest out of the group. He's pretty much on par with Sonic and Shadow. But it's quickly revealed that his levels aren't designed with this new speed in mind, because he actually will start like flying off of the smaller platforms, and you start realizing that Silver's like controls are actually a lot tighter to compensate the fact he's not that fast. That's why he has some like smaller platforming challenges and things like that. Same with Shadow, where with the increase on combat, enemies kind of die too quickly, and like when certain meters are implemented correctly, Shadow becomes basically too overpowered for his own good. And it just kind of keeps going on from there. Like it shows that these limitations had to be kind of like put in to compensate for the level designs,
Yeah.
which means they'll have to like go and actually make those changes to the game itself.
Yeah.
Uh, Let me see. So that's basically what they're kind of trying to work with. They're trying to update. Some old glitches are still in the game. Like apparently they're like hard baked into it. Like for example, if you beat a stage with Shadow on the hoverboard, this it'll still play like the end, like you know, the victory animation of him like in front of the screen and everything. But the hoverboard will still keep flying forward across the screen. So it kind of looks like it's just like he jumped out of it too soon, and the thing's just gonna crash into the nearest wall and explode.
Yeah.
So that's again something I I just find funny. It's like this is why we don't let Shadow drive anything. He's just a terrible driver to begin with.
Yeah, unless you count the
Fucking
motorbike.
Hmm?
Unless you count the motorbike. Oh wait, hold on. I'll be right back.
You go ahead. All of these voices inside of my head, they bind my sight in a curtain of red. Frustrations have gotten bigger, bang, bang, bang. Pull my devil trigger. I'm a wildfire you can't tame. Pull out the flames, hot temper can't stay. Still bored in the abyss, red temper, I just can't resist all this rage that's inside me. All of these voices inside of my head, they bind my sights in curtains of red. Frustrations have gotten bigger, bang, bang, pull my devil trigger. When the night ends, it's not over. We fight through to get closer. When this wickedness consumes me, nothing can save you and there's no way out. Fuck it. So we fell into prison about 2:45, where I found in my cell a glass waiting for me. So I poured what was empty, and I pulled up a stool, but he stood in the corner. The old devil wouldn't move. He said you drink when you're alone. No, I drink when I want. He said you'd never be sober. Surely would I want that. I only drink to be merry. But unfortunately, I'm in the wrong prison cell and the wrong company. Sail away the ball and chain, keep us from the warring lane. Together undivided, but together we'll be free. Sail away the ball and chain, the moon is full, and so are we. 7 drunken pirates were the 7 deadly sins. Oh, envy and his evil twin, they took a bed with slander. Idiots, they gave advice, but sloth gave no answers. Never trust, so sail away the ball and chain, keep us from the roaring wind. Together undivided, but together we'll be free. Sail away the ball and chain, this movement, so we. 7 drunken pirates were the 7 deadly sins. 7 drunken pirates were the 7 deadly sins. Once more.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
So, what was it this time?
Well, apparently the dogs ripped up another pillow when I wasn't paying attention or
Oh.
something.
Oh, great. Glad to hear that.
So, and it's annoying because I literally, after I was done playing the game, I literally was running after them. And I was trying to calm them down, and then I go upstairs and I think everything's fine, and then I come down and then...
And then...
Yeah, and then I...
Mm-hmm.
parents think that I wasn't watching them or anything, so. Even though I literally have it on stream. Well, no, you know, fucking, what is it called?
Multiple instances of like, yeah, you were literally just doing exactly that.
Yeah, I posted it on frickin' Facebook. I was literally posting it. Oh, dogs.
Fucking Facebook. Anyway. Fair enough. Again, best not to get too worked up about it. Yeah, I could definitely make this into an arc map.
What map?
Arc as in like Space Colony, not arc as in Survival Evolved.
Oh.
No, it's a Phantasy Star Online map, and I'm thinking it's like I could probably use this. It's just gonna be weird to explain, like, why is there an ocean on the Space Colony arc, basically. So I'm gonna have to explain that away, or just kind of like cover the water areas with what's it called? With space.
Yeah.
So yeah. Which again, it's not gonna be like too big an issue. It's just, you know, like just covering certain windows and just running with it. It's like, oh yeah, here it is, you know. But, ugh, you know. Anyhow, that's neither here nor there. Let's see. I'm just running around the map trying to find like good like scouting locations for the whole like that whole what's it called? Oh god. Terios project I got working on.
How's
So like
that
places
going?
like to show. It's going better than expected. I'm just trying to write out the story actually. And I've decided I'm going to write the story and also include what's it called? Write out the story and include just images of it to kind of explain like what's going on here, what's going on there, blah 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 blah. You know, like minor like story beats and like things like that, like proper like things. I just need to figure out what to upload with this. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to use this area because there's too much ocean everywhere and not enough. Oh god.
What?
And not enough like actual like I went into a section. It opened to like a retro zone basically, so I need to be like careful where I go. What? Yeah, it's in Gary's mod.
Flag drop.
Gonna have to avoid that.
Flag taken.
No way.
Future
I have
reference.
To change the direct capture mode, I think.
Flag
It's
dropped.
lagging my
Okay.
PC.
Teammate gained.
Let me see. So I think for this like locations, I'm gonna build the or do the scene that I got planned with the whole. What in the world is all this?
Flag dropped. Flag recovered.
The scenes with oh, what's the word I'm looking for here? The scene with Shadow encountering the what's it called? Shadow encountering the corrupted oh god, I'm trying to think of the right word here. The corrupted what's the word? The corrupted or sorry, the toxic artificial chaos. So I'm gonna probably do an image of that and kind of work around with it. Since I don't have the what's it called? Since I don't have a chaos drive model, I'm not going to show that off.
Flag stolen.
It's again simply because I don't what's the word?
Flag stolen.
It's just simply because I don't have access to that, and like I could probably make one using the what's it called? Make one using like a TF2 model. Like, I kind of want the Chaos Drive to be like what it actually looks like in
Stolen.
Sonic, because it's too easy to make a oh, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's too easy to make oh god, what's the word? Like, just, using TF2 models for Sonic, because I always find that kind of, not really cringe, but just kind of like boring, less creative than what I would like to do.
Yes, everyone uses
So I like to avoid using that whenever possible. Not because I don't like TF2 or anything like that. It's just purely, an aesthetic choice. Oh, that reminds me of something as well. Speaking of TF2, are you familiar at all with something called Our World Now?
Flag stolen. Flag
I have a feeling you
dropped.
didn't. OWN, it has its roots in WWE. Basically, it was some sort of event where the wrestlers were like following Hulk Hogan, and it was basically like they weren't taking shit anymore. They were actually gonna like start doing their own promotional stuff. Like some, because wrestling is fake. Some like plot point that was gonna be like that. The acronym was so good that it's kind of lived on outside of WWE and places like that, but not by much. So naturally, people have used the Our World Now logo and basically a lot of things, but not as often as it used to be in like the mid 2000s, basically. Like when it was really, really fucking popular. Anyway, I bring this up because there used to be an old TF2 series, or an old TF2 group, I should say, called Our World Now. And good lord, was it cringe. So, how do I put it? So Our World Now was basically a TF2 series that focused on this concept of, instead of the Reds versus the Blues, it was going to be a third team. And this was like back in the day when like TF2's lore and everything wasn't that well established. So we're talking about like the early days of TF2 where things were still kind of like up in the air. The third brother wasn't really known. There were speculations that the third like man brother was actually like a purple character, and basically the lore for it, because it started off as like a TF2, but their lore was basically, we are the OWN, we're doing our whole like our thing, we're gonna break away, yada yada yada, we're declaring war on both teams, and basically it was a black and white team versus the Reds and the Blues. It's as edgy and try hard and like cringy as you can imagine. Basically, this like the whole thing was like, I don't want to say like super nihilistic, but it was like up there basically. The characters were like, how do I put it? Overly edgy, constantly going on about like, blah 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 blah. And because it was black and white, like there was a lot of stupid shit you could do. And as you can imagine, it was, how do I put it? It didn't really go as well as you can imagine. Basically, people just kind of like mocked and ridiculed a lot of people who like kind of went with it. And again, this was mostly because OWN was just a cringy concept to begin with. Like I said, super fucking try hard, trying to be like, oh, we're our own team and we do this and we do that. It's like, I bring this up because the OWN has kind of been, how do I put it, undergoing a resurgence as of late.
Really?
And it's surprising. Yeah, basically, so to kind of give this context as well, much like you and Armageddon, there was someone who worked on this project too. They were called Lone Wolf, and they created a series based on the OWN. They wanted to make their own thing, and they called it Cult of Personality. The story mostly focusing around a blue medic who gets kicked out, and you know, despite doing everything he could to help his team, yada yada yada. And then
Yes.
nice job. And what winds up happening is that he, you know, he builds this team, and the team is like full of mercenaries who are like, yeah, we're fed up, we're sick of, like, what's it called? I'm trying to think of the right word here. You know, we're done, we're fed up with fucking, like, the abuse, blah blah, like, just a lot of super edgy try-hard shit. And for the most part, the series actually got a following. To this day, it sits at like 2 million views and things like that. But there's a problem. It's kind of a mystery, because apparently at some point, the what's it called? The original creator, Lone Wolf, just disappeared, like off the face of the map completely, and nobody knows what happened. What happened to them? Like, all his series that he was working on, because he was doing one for what's it called? Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead. Hold on. Left 4 Dead. Some other like smaller things, you know, so on and so on. He just left, like, completely and utterly, and nobody knows why this happened. And there's speculation about that. Some people think he got bullied off of like social media because of like how edgy and like try hard he was trying to make the series be. Some people think that he got like life got in the way and a lot of the projects had to be cancelled because, you know, obviously you can't dedicate yourself all the time to something. Like, real shit has to happen at some point. Like, it was a lot of speculation, and others just assumed he actually died. Because as far as I'm aware, there's been no like official, hey, this is Lone Wolf, I'm still alive, basically.
Yeah.
And just, you know, up and vanish. And to this day, ironically enough, it still sparked a lot of interest and debate, because even though a lot of people recognize our world now is some like super cringy, like edgelord stuff, it still has a fan following. You know, ironically, it has a cult of personality itself, but it's not really in what's the word? It's not really recognized as a proper like TF2 kind of like thing. It's just mostly like what's the word? It's like somewhat respected. Let's go with that, basically. The reason why I said it's having a resurgence is because somebody else took up the mantle of the series and has been like creating their own cult of personality stuff based around it. But it looks like they're trying to tell a much more like adult and serious story, where the other one was just basically just edgelord power fantasy for the sake of it. The issues are just that, you know, just like with anything else with this sort of project and this sort of setting, it doesn't really work well. And again, this is just mostly because a lot of people are just not like, you know, people grow up, you know, for lack of a better term, and naturally anything to do with like the cult of personality or anything OWN related has kind of been met with the same sort of like scrutiny, for the lack of a better term. Like, not everyone is like super invested in this. A lot of people find it kind of cringy or kind of like weird and so on and so forth, for lack of a better term. Again, I really can't blame them for being that, especially all things considered. If that makes any sense. Again, it's like I said, it's just down to like personal taste and everything like that. And again, like I said, with TF2, the community is always hungry for new stuff, but all the new stuff is kind of accepted equally.
Yeah.
And again, that's not like some derogatory statement or some like, oh, all men are created equal, or some men are created more equally kind of statement. It's just, it's a statement of fact, plain and simple. Alright, let me go ahead and start working on it. Oh, there's one other thing I need to do. Anyway, but yeah, that's kind of what I mean. It's always been, how do I put it? It's always been something that the TF2 community's been about. It's, like I said, they're eager to see new stuff and new content, and they're always happy to see, like, content leak happening from, like, TF2 servers and things like that. Actual proper, like, maps or locations or events, blah, 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 blah. It's just, the community is also kind of picky with what it likes and what it doesn't. Like, that whole Mimi-centric kind of stuff is still ongoing to this day. Like some people still like Mimi, others hate her because of like weebism and like blah 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 blah. Yet ironically people are like losing their minds because they want to see that female soldier actually be complete. But yeah, it's kind of the general. Again, like I said, kind of the general consensus when it comes to that. Again, the irony of it all is not really lost on a lot of the community, especially when it comes to like how they treat play. Like, again, they treat players decently. There's no. I'm not arguing that. It's just more of you just have to do it, I guess, quote unquote, right, or else you wind up getting like. Again, like I keep saying, behold the power of street bullying, basically.
Flag recovered.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I said, it swings and roundabouts, especially when it comes to it. Yet, ironically enough, apparently someone at one point actually wanted to have the TF2 community not be toxic towards the Overwatch community. Like they say things like, do not, do not treat them poorly. Do not, bring up their game or our game as like better or not. Welcome them, open arms, and treat them fairly, and blah 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 blah. Right? About 90% of the TF2 community just said, "Lol, fuck you," and specifically towards the Overwatch community. Well, because for years the Overwatch community was treating the TF2 community like shit. Like when they thought they were high and mighty, and now that they're like, now that their shit's dying left, right, and sideways, it's kind of like, payback's a bitch, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. And again, they can't sit there and go like, oh, you guys are being toxic and you're bullying us and like blah 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 blah. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, you guys were treating us like shit for years, constantly saying like, lol, no updates, dead game, blah 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 blah. It's like, how about you all collectively go fuck yourselves while the rest of us actually try to have a good time with this, alright? Now they're kind of like stuck in this whole gotcha situation, which, you know what's absolutely hilarious about this whole thing? The people are actively saying, please bring back loot boxes. Yeah, because again, it's fucking FOMO, and nobody likes FOMO. Like, universally, nobody likes FOMO, because it's like, you're trying to make artificial demand for something that is not necessary.
Exactly.
But you'll do it anyways, because it's like, we need those sales.
Reset.
And that makes you that makes you bitch. Not you personally, but you know.
Yeah.
And it's, again, like I said, people. Again, it's like I said, universal karma is like, it's here, it's omnipresent, and like I said, these people were told for years, hey, don't piss on anything, and now look at them. They're begging, literally begging Blizzard to just treat them like gotcha machines again, instead of this whole fucking like mess they've allowed themselves to get put into.
Yeah.
What's even more sad is the fact that they will not, like a lot of these Overwatch fans will not like stop playing the game to like challenge them, because as awful as it is, it's still a competitive game, and if you stop playing, you're gonna get fucked. You're gonna get left behind in the dust with the. Why does this robot have panties? What the fuck?
I don't know.
Japan, why are you like this?
Because they're horny degenerates.
It's like, sorry, someone sent me like a pack of robots from an old series I saw once online, WV for Kids, but never saw again, and it was, I think it was like Metabots or something like that. And like I said, I thought, oh, that'd be interesting. I remember this whole series. I wonder what's happened since then, and now I'm looking at this and like, I want to die. I just, why are there children? What the fuck? Exactly, that's my reaction. It's like, what is happening? Why is this going on? Who made this and who said yes, this is fine?
Leg drop.
But like I said, it's kind of funny, and I even had like a conversation with like an Overwatch fan who was like, I keep telling them it's like, TF2 is alright, it's decent, it's a fun game, yada yada yada. And they're like, oh, I don't care, I don't want to play that game, yada yada. And I'm like, why? Why are you so like adamantly against it? It's like, because I like Overwatch and this, and like, I'm not saying you need to stop playing Overwatch. I'm saying it's like you can try this. It's a fun game. You're not gonna get like fucking cross-contaminated because you also played TF2, for God's sakes. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, Overwatch fans are just, for lack of a better term, terminally online every time, and they just never understand that the world can be different than just what they see.
Yeah, because they're freaking activists. These teammates are so stupid. Kill the guy inside our goddamn base, you dumbass.
It's like, do you see that guy? Murder him! Murder him!
It's like, how many idiots
Dumbass.
does it take to
Anyway. But that's what I mean. It's just, it's one of those problems where it's like, it's really evident. It's like, for God's sakes, like I said, nobody's going to like harass you because you, well, maybe they will, but at that point, like I said, you just tell them to go fuck themselves and just call it a night. Again, they don't. Yeah. But like I said, it's this like, how to put it? It's this like absurd like fucking brand loyalty to something that's like, it doesn't give a shit about you. And again, he's like, oh, why, you're just an Overwatch defender, or like an Overwatch hater, you're a TF2 fanboy. It's like, I like TF2, but doesn't mean there's not problems with it. I'm not the type to just sit here and go like, oh, it's a perfect fucking game, and fuck you, it has no flaws. It's like, absolutely it has flaws. The hackers, the fucking problems, like, it's out there. I'm not saying it's not,
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's easier for people to like make ad hominem attacks than it's actually like listen to the point someone's trying to make and trying to tell you. It's like, listen, if you just pay attention, I'm not trying to like, I'm not trying to like piss on your parade or ruin your Cheerios or anything like that. I'm just trying to help you here. But if you don't want to, whatever, that's on you, not me. In a very literal sense, too, by the way. But yeah. like I said, neither here nor there, and I still question like just what Overwatch fans are like. Again, it's you have every opportunity to walk away and like go somewhere else, but they don't want to because again, they're terrified that if they leave the game, they're gonna get like left behind and like the seasons and everything. It's like okay, then if you think that's gonna happen to you, that's maybe that's a sign that says you shouldn't play this game because it's trying to like guilt you into staying. That's not healthy.
Yes.
Flag drop. Teammate gain.
Yeah, again, because they want you to be, they want to pressure you into believing that if you just stay, if you just do this, if you just do that, then you'll be like rewarded and this and that. It's like, no, that's not what's going to happen. They want to keep you on because they know you have nowhere else to go. They don't want to treat you with respect. They want to treat you like a portable ATM machine.
Flag taken.
That's it.
Flag dropped.
Nice. That's it. That's just where the story ends, basically. It's like they don't give a shit about you, and they never will.
Yeah, they treat their players like dogs. They remove benches.
Flag dropped.
For I don't consider defense.
No, it's not only that. Like I've mentioned multiple times about how, like Overwatch's priorities, or like Blizzard's priorities with the Overwatch teams, are all over the place. You will have them like they won't give a shit about like the casuals who just want to play the game and have fun. They'll listen to the like competitive team. But if the competitive team is like saying like they have issues or problems with the game or like blah 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 blah, they won't listen to them either. And they'll say, oh, we need to think about casuals. It's like, no, you just want to like quote unquote appease everyone. So that way you come off as like the good person in all this, and in reality all you're doing is just being a bitch. You're just trying to like come off as you're trying to like help everyone, when in reality you're not. You're just trying to help yourself in the most obvious and telling way.
Yeah.
Again, it's anything but like respectful. It's what's it called? It's just downright disrespectful.
Flag drop.
Oh, that looks good actually.
Flag taken.
Sorry, I'm making the that polluted or that what's it called? The toxic oh crap, what's it called? The toxic chaos right now. So I just changed the head of the color of it now. I'm just creating the what's it called? Kinda. The general idea is just that what's it called? The general idea, like I said before, is that this is supposed to be a chaos that is like has swum around for so long that it's like picked up detritus, debris, like, just a lot of like nasty shit basically. That's the general kind of like plot idea.
Yeah.
I just need to pick a good spot because this place is like strange about it. Okay, hold on. If I move him over here into one of the hallways, there's some slight texture problem with it, but I think I can like MacGyver some of this around. Okay, so if I look at certain angles, that should fix it. You fools!
This team is retarded.
I see. Alright, Thanos, calm down there.
Just watch me. I'm just gonna keep spawning cameras.
Sorry, I heard you say just watch me, I'm gonna, and then the moment you like finish that sentence, like if someone walked at you in the face, like, fuck.
That's the problem. There's so many problems.
Flag stolen.
Excuse me. What time is it?
Flag
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna pop off for now. I'll see you tomorrow, alright? Alright, good night.
Flag recovered.
Yep, I knew this would happen.
Teammate gained. Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Flag recovered. Teammate gained. Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Teammate gained. Flag reset. Flag taken. Flag dropped. Flag taken. Flag dropped. Flag recovered.
Great, this is gonna get stolen. Damn it.
Teammate gained. Flag taken. Flag dropped. Killing spree. Flag taken. Flag dropped. Teammate gained. Flag recovered. Teammate gained.
Wow.
Suicide.
Great teammates. Yeah, these are amazing teammates. Oh, why did you play these? This is why you have idiots like this that kill you if you're angry if you don't get their freaking vehicle. Jesus Christ.
Flag stolen. Flag dropped.
Never changed my mind. I'm trying to hijack.
Flag stolen.
I still hijack.
Flag dropped.
So I guess so don't mind me just taking the flag.
Flag taken. Teammate gained. Flag recovered. Flag dropped.
Still angry. No.
Flag reset.
Let's hope this guy
Flag stolen. Flag dropped.
What? Where? Jesus. Okay. Okay.
Flag recovered.
Yes, we can. Come on, let's go, let's go.
Flag taken.
Come on. Get out of here. Oh, I still splattered. Escalate back. I'll defend it. Hello.
Flag dropped. Flag taken.
Sucks to be you.
Flag captured.
I got your friend.
Killing spree.
Of course, got too cocky. If there's one thing I really hate about this map, is the people who just do that, you know? Just camp and hide.
teammate gained.
I'll get you one over your stupid ass check. You can't get me. It's not gonna do shit. Come on. Okay, I almost fucked that up. What's up, guys? How can I find this? Yeah, I can't do anything, can I? I'm just gonna take this. Unfortunate that hit you. Made shit traps. Go Calvary.
Flag stolen.
Apparently I don't have a loadout anymore.
Flag dropped. Flag stolen.
This happens. I tried to stop it, but what did my teammates do?
Capture the flag.
Don't worry, I'm just... Oh, half their team is gone. Yeah, quite unfortunate as I came in with advantage. How unfortunate. So, are we open up for business? Enemy team.
First strike.
Whoa. My teammates. Oh, he's gonna...
Flag stolen.
Oh, not hard.
Flag
That's
dropped.
the guy that fucking did it. Teammates, go in. Oh, fuck. Please,
Flag
please,
taken.
Please, please, why? Yeah. Just had to do that after I got everything. I could have just jumped out E2. That's what sucks.
Flag dropped.
I'm sure they wouldn't mind me.
Flag stolen. Flag taken. Flag dropped. Flag dropped. Flag stolen. Flag dropped.
Oh, you cunt.
Flag recovered.
Oh, that's ours. Shit. Hey, I'm just here to recover it. Don't mind me. Oh god, if we blow up. We're just gonna get a big target. Okay, please, please don't fuck me over here. Please do something smart. Don't fuck this up.
Flag reset.
Alright, let's go.
Flag taken.
So now, which one do I guess this one?
Flag dropped.
Okay, let's get that flag.
Revenge. Flag taken.
Oh, no problem.
Flag dropped.
Exactly,
Flag
get
taken.
back here. Oh, that's coming from me.
Flag dropped. taken.
Excuse you. Come on. No.
Flag dropped. Flag taken.
Come on, help me.
Flag dropped.
Come
Flag taken.
dumbasses.
Flag
Give
dropped.
me a lie.
Flag reset. Flag taken.
Oh god.
Flag dropped. Flag recovered.
The problem is we ain't find these from team help. I'm just coming freaking rockets. Oh man, it's funny how it misses. Well, it missed.
Flag taken.
Come on. Help, I'm sorry.
Flag stolen. Flag dropped.
Oh shit.
Flag recovered. Flag dropped. Flag taken. Flag dropped. Killing spree.
Hey, just redirecting these rockets here.
Flag taken.
Get it out of here.
Flag dropped. Flag taken. Flag dropped. Flag taken. Splatter spree.
Oh, face planted. Oh shit. God. Oh shit. Someone's dead.
Flag captured. Gained the lead.
You. Missed. Fire shit. Damn it.
Teammate gained. Flag stolen.
Oh, don't worry. I'm giving this back.
Teammate gained.
Oh, that wasn't expected.
Flag dropped. Flag stolen.
They took everything.
Flag dropped.
I was playing against this. Oh. Yeah, I can do the strategy before. Walk on.
Flag stolen.
There we go. Perfect. And hopefully hit one of his teammates.
Flag taken. Flag dropped.
that virgin in the sky. Missed. Okay, come on.
Flag drop.
Yes.
Flag reset.
Oh, wait, that didn't go away. I needed to. Oh. Oh, thanks.
Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Flag stolen. Killing spree. Flag captured.
That is your banshee battle. Well, that's
Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Flag stolen. Flag dropped.
alright, he's coming back. Why don't you just go over here?
Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Flag recovered. Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Flag recovered.
Oh my god, I hate that. Oh shit. I ran through that fire out.
Flag taken. Triple kill. Killing spree.
Oh shit, come on.
Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Teammate gained. Teammate gained. Flag reset.
First, because my teammates can never do that. They just have to fucking... The damn energies. Jesus Christ. So it's that same
Double kill.
These fucking losers. I hate Yoink God and I hope he dies. I hate him. I hate him so much. All the goddamn time.
Flag stolen. Flag dropped. Flag recovered.